and then open statement.
Sure. Really good win over a really good team. I mean, Drake's a great program. They've, their players know how to win. They have a distinct style that's really tough to prepare for in a short period of time. And, we didn't practice Saturday. We just did walkthrough and some film, and then just really one day to practice. And you see how what they do offensively is pretty unique, the way they move the ball in space. And to get a win is great. I mean, these two were really, really good. I mean, Lauren probably that's as good at shot making as I've ever seen from her. She's a pretty good shot maker in general. So, but on the flip side, I told him, look, we've got to clean up some things, because as much as I'd love for Lauren to go, 12 for 16 with 6 threes every night, and Morgan to get 20, the rebounding piece isn't sustainable. We can't get beat by 10 tonight on the glass and by 12 or 13 or whatever it was up in Brookings. And, now we're playing a longer, more physical team on Thursday. So, that's the damper, is like we've got to be more committed to that area, because we're doing enough things well to be a good team, but we're not doing enough things well to be a great team. And rebounding, starting with rebounding. But still, a really good win. We needed it. The schedule's hard, and if we had dropped to 0-2 and have to go to K-State on Thursday with a short prep, that's tough. So happy these guys made a lot of shots tonight.
Open the floor to questions for the student athletes. One note: Lauren Jensen, career high with 32 points in her first career double-double.
Before we get into your absurdity, the other night, offensively, you felt like it just wasn't clicking, especially for large parts of the game. Well, I mean, obviously the opponent's different, but what did you feel like you guys did to generate better looks and be more efficient tonight than you were on Friday?
Yeah, I think we just got back to the basics of our offense. We were talking before the game and passing up good shots for great shots, and I feel like we did that tonight. We were swinging the ball, we were moving it. Obviously, Morgan was making shots. Everyone else was making shots, and so just getting back to how we play basketball was huge for us tonight.
You were also making shots. How did you feel out there? What do you think got you started tonight?
Yeah, just trying to keep a level head. I go out there and just try to take the shots that they give me. I don't necessarily try to hunt any shots, and just happened to be that they gave me some threes tonight.
You made 2 shots like in the last minute of the first half, and then you come out and hit a couple threes right away. Did those 2 baskets do anything for you going into the second half?
Yeah, I think it gave the team momentum as a whole. We talk about end of quarters a lot and how that can change momentum. And I don't know the exact score before I hit those 2 shots, but I know we went up 7, which was big because it was kind of back and forth, or a smaller lead for most of the first half. And then, for a confidence standpoint, it does help to see a few go in. And then I was able to carry that into the second half.
Morgan, you had kind of a scare at the end of the game the other night, and you had to turn around on a short prep and deal with a 6'4" efficient post. How are you feeling tonight physically, and how did you handle that challenge and your opportunity?
I felt pretty good, especially when the first few shots go in. I feel better. So, yeah, that's what I got.
Defensively on there, though, I think, 18 points, and if you include free throws, 18 shots. How did you she was shooting 70% in the season coming in, averaging 20 plus. How were you and Mal able to kind of just, I guess, make her net neutral, if that makes sense?
Yeah, they like to push it in transition, obviously, so we just talked about meeting her as early as possible and not letting her get deep and burying us right away, because they love to look at the high-low. I thought we did okay with our positioning in those situations, but just staying down, make them finish over us. She's not super physical, so she's not like banging us down under the hoop where she gets easy looks. So we just try to wall up.
shooting, I think she was 5 of 7 from 3 in the first 2 games. She teed up the one in transition that he was very upset about. But after that, she didn't hit any more. Like, what do you guys feel like you did to kind of take her out of their offense and make them find other ways to score to keep up with you guys?
Sorry, who is
Ava
this?
Hawthorne,
I'm sorry.
I guess it's number 21.
Yeah, she's a good scorer. You know, she can shoot it and she can drive it. And a lot of the players on Drake can. And so I think just minimizing those type of players. I mean, obviously you have Dinnebeer to worry about, and Miller, and Becker had a great night, but they can all shoot it. And so making sure that we can minimize other offensive threats, which she's been playing great this season.
Anything further for the student athletes?
Looking forward to playing against Lee on Thursday.
She's hurt. Is she get hurt?
I've honestly, yeah. It's fun to play a new opponent. I honestly don't. I've never watched K-State before, so
Oh.
yeah.
They're good.
I'm just being honest.
Yeah, we had our hands full getting ready for Drake, but yeah, I think she'll play. From what his post-game remarks after their last game, he said she was probably capable of going, but they decided to rest her. So we'll see.
I think it's on YouTube.
Lauren and Morgan, you can go.
Good job, you guys. Good job.
50
Good job.
60 piece,
Sorry.
whatever it was.
Was it 51? Good job, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Is this you? Is this you, LJ? No, I'm sorry.
We all record
I was like, I just saw. Okay.
our phones now.
I didn't know.
I mean, what do you think Lauren did so well tonight? Because it wasn't just like 6 threes, but they were variety. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
different types of ways she would get them. What do you think made her
Yeah.
like that tonight?
I do think that what Jean brought up, that the 2 baskets she got right before half was huge, because I think she only had 7, right, until then, because she had 11 at half. Because I felt like, I looked at the halftime stat sheet and I said, oh, 11. I thought she actually had maybe a little bit bigger first half, but I mean, to think she went from 7 with a minute to go in the half to 32. But she's, you know, she's capable. I mean, and what I love about her, like, I mean, a lot of things I love about her, but like, she doesn't settle for threes. But Drake allows you, you know, they played more zone tonight than they have probably historically against us. Now, the last quarter, they were probably more man, but, you know, on film, their first 2 games, I felt like they were a little heavier playing zone. And then I thought really kind of through the first 3 quarters, they were heavier zone. So we actually moved, you know, a couple of our zone actions, we moved Lauren into a spot that Kiani or Molly would play, just because of the way they kind of shaped their zone, so we could get Lauren with the ball. And she's just, yeah, she's good. But I do think, you know, hitting 1 to start the third was a big deal too, because I felt like, you know, to end the first half the way she did, and then hit 1, you know, pretty quick, right? I think it was our first basket out at halftime. Was a Lauren 3, right? So now all of a sudden, you know, she's really good anyway. But when she's confident, when she's supremely confident, she's even better. But the lift on her threes was really good. I mean, and she played a lot of minutes. You know, and sometimes she plays so many minutes that it's hard to expect her to shoot threes great the last quarter and a half. But tonight she seemed to have it.
Kiani, speaking of not having many points before, I
Mhm.
think she had 2 points going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
What did you kind of see out of her there in the fourth to kind of hold them off there?
Yeah, I thought the mid-range shot she hit off a ball screen was huge, because we were, you know, I just mentioned, I thought Lauren was getting I felt like if we just rode Lauren the entire rest of the game, that there was a chance she was going to get tired. And Morgan, same thing. Morgan probably played too many minutes in that second half. But yeah, I mean, so we put the ball in her hands a couple times, and then she's just good at moving without the ball. You know, she'll back cut, she hit that floater. You know, she's just gotten better, really, kind of at every level as a 3-point shooter, attacking off the dribble. She did have the one wide open 3 that at the end of the third quarter that she passed up into a travel. But like I thought, you know, she's put together some really good performances, and I feel like her confidence is only going to get better as, you know, because her defensive value is pretty high too.
Lauren didn't take her first shot until 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Was it intentional to get everybody else involved first?
Not really. You know, you just when teams play zone, you just have a little less control on who's going to get the shot because it's how they shape their zone, or if they're favoring her versus favoring somebody else. So that was not by design. But you know, thanks for pointing that out, because maybe I gotta take a look at that. You know, one of the things that makes Drake's really good on offense, but you know, defensively, what makes him different too is like they switch defenses all the time. Like they're man zone, man zone, man zone. So it's nice to have an experienced team, because then you can just kind of play. Whereas it's like, oh, their zone, let's get in this. You know, like if you have a young team, you know, and you're having to go back and forth between seeing zone and man defense, a lot of times, you know, just youth doesn't play as well against that as experience does, because you can just, these guys just know how to move the ball, and you don't have to get caught up into whether they're zone man, because, you know, when you've got skilled players who can shoot it, you can kind of run offense whether they're zone or man. But the question is, yeah, against zone sometimes it's harder to say, okay, Lauren hasn't taken a shot for 5 minutes, let's get her a shot. But like I said, we did alter one of our sets to put the ball in Lauren's hands instead of Kiani or Molly's, and that's one adjustment that we made.